Hello, everybody, and welcome to another My Music. Now, if you hear dogs in the background whilst this episode's going out, that's because dogs exist. And we can't do anything about that. We've tried. We've introduced cats so that dogs have, someone to fight against. But, dogs will still exist in the background on podcasts unless you're recording at the BBC in a recording studio. But we're not. We're coming live from our living rooms, and that's more real. You see, that's and talking about real. I'm going to be talking to Amy today, who keeps it real by going out and seeing you people out on the streets, and we'll talk all about that and what that's like, and how sometimes some of you are quite annoying as well. Right after this.
Keep on, don't stop.
Amy, Alex, thank you so much for coming along, talking
Hello.
to me today.
Thank you for having me. It's always great to get on and have a little natter. I'm pleased to be inside today.
First of all, I've got to say, I love your Instagram.
Thank you.
Because it makes me laugh a little bit as well as entertains me. And, you've got a great voice and you're good at what you do. But your little posts about general public out there, because you got to love people, right? You got to love people. Right?
My life just consists of the weird and wonderful landing on my metaphorical doorstep, which is actually the public high street. Some may say I invite it in.
Yeah. Just for anyone that doesn't know, just give us a little bit of background. Where are you busking or doing your stuff? I don't know whether you're allowed to call it. Do you call it busking these days?
Street performing.
Yeah. Okay, street performing. Where are you doing that? When did you start doing that? Where can people see you? And just all of that, really.
So my name's Amy Alex, for viewers who haven't seen me before. I'm 26 and I'm from Northwest England, and I am a street performer by trade. I never really pursued music until like my early 20s, and I was actually at Sheffield University doing a degree in graphic design and illustration, and it just so happened to fall at the same time that COVID did, unfortunately. So I really didn't get to do much of my degree, and I was sat at home so bored, and there's only so much graphic design and creative stuff you can do over a video call. So I just hated it. And I think this was at the time where there wasn't not everything was shut down yet. There was still some pubs open and stuff. So I'd gone to an open mic night at the Green Room in Sheffield, and long story short, I'd met a girl who was a full-time busker, and she said, "Oh, I know it's quiet on the high street at the moment, but why don't you come with me one day, seeing as no one's got anything to do?" So I went with her. Absolutely loved it. It just felt like my calling in life, and the rest is history. And I saved up over time, got my own gear, started posting on TikTok, and it's just gone from there, really. I've spent the last 4 to 5 years building up my online following. I've got a lovely little community, and anyone who watches me and has seen my videos knows that what I post is interactions with the public. So I get, like I said before, the weird and wonderful. I seem to be a magnet for them approaching me on the street, and it makes for some funny and interesting videos at times.
Now, I'm going to say I've been to Sheffield a few times. I love Sheffield. Before we get into the music side of it, I love Sheffield. It's a great place. It's really vibrant. I love the centre of Sheffield. There's lots of lovely places to eat, right? Lots of nice spaces, quite interesting places as well. I've stayed in, I can't remember the name of which hotel it was. I've stayed in the hotel several times in the centre of Sheffield, which has got almost like a museum-y bit to the side of it.
You know, it's been so long since I've been back there. I can't even remember what all the streets and the buildings are called.
And I was gonna ask you, was it Sheffield University or was it Sheffield Hallam? Because you've obviously got the two up there.
No, it was the Thicko one. I didn't get into the top uni.
You didn't get into the top uni.
No.
And for people that don't know, Sheffield's got a tram system as well. Which
it almost looks like a seaside town, doesn't it? Sometimes
it does, but it has a tram system, and it's actually the best way to get into the centre because the traffic's awful. I always parked on the outside and then got the tram in. It's just that if you ever go
even though I lived there for so long, I never actually really used the trams because of COVID. When I lived there, no one was going anywhere, so I just stayed in the centre. Really,
there you go. So love Sheffield. It's a great place. So
nice.
so where are you typically? And then we'll really get onto the detail. But where are you typically busking or doing street performing now? Whereabouts? Have you got a pitch?
I asked you a question before. Sorry, you did ask me that. So I'm based in Blackburn. I'm from Blackburn originally. My parents live here, and I've lived here my entire life. So yeah, I tend to do Northwest England. I do predominantly do Blackburn, Preston, Manchester. My family live in Liverpool, so I sometimes do Liverpool as well. But yeah, I go everywhere, to be honest. When I go off on my travels, I've been up to Glasgow, to Borsk, down to, I love Bristol. Bristol, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you from that neck of the woods?
Well, I'm south of Bristol. I'm an hour south of Bristol. Yeah.
Well, I've never been further than that, but I did enjoy Bristol when I went. I thought it was very reminiscent of a northern town.
Okay, here's your challenge, Amy. After this, right? Because we could meet up. We could actually do a little, we could do a little live thing. You need to get to Exeter.
Is that further south?
Yeah, put Exeter on your map, right?
And is that good for busking?
It's fantastic for busking. Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen any images or videos of that ever. I've heard of it.
There you go. You can look that up afterwards. You can busk within the I believe you can actually, because I've seen it before, but you can busk within the sort of grounds of the cathedral. Which is tremendous.
There's not a lot of places where they allow you to do stuff like that.
No. I'm going to probably get in trouble now because you're probably not allowed to anymore. But
they seem to be cracking down on busking in a lot of places now. A lot.
No, they shouldn't.
It's a shame, a real shame. They've just put some kind of ban in Leicester Square in London, which doesn't affect me, obviously, but it's a shame.
That's ridiculous. And yet we've got people that are really doing great stuff. I mean, have you seen the DJ that does right, DJ?
I can see both sides of the coin, to be honest. I try and stay neutral on it, because although most would expect me to be totally pro busker, I think, well, if I was in a shop all day and I had someone outside, I'd be annoyed as well. But it just depends who you get, doesn't it? If you get a really pleasant to listen to busker, brilliant. And I get so many shops come out and say, we're really enjoying it, please don't stop. But then, you might get someone who, in the nicest way,
it's rubbish,
terrible. And the shops are just like, oh my God, all day. So it's difficult to, what's the word? It's difficult to control it in any way, like for councils or shops, because it's such a grey area. You can't put one rule in place for one person and then one.
I know, but look, even the people that are a bit naff sometimes. Right?
That's not me saying I'm amazing, by the way. It sounded really sad.
But even the people that are a bit naff sometimes, there's just something about them. We went to the beach in Lyme Regis, and they've got a busking slot. They've got a spot where people busk down there, and the guy that was down there the other day, that it's lovely hot sunny day on the beach or whatever, he'd made his own guitar out of he had like a steel plate on the front from the back of a car, so it had that kind of resonator type style, and he was doing his all of his songs were like right, but it was great. It was great, and his dog was howling along at the same time. There was just something about it.
You get some characters, don't you? I remember there was a guy in Liverpool. I think he's sadly passed away now. I believe his name was Pete. And he used to stand outside right in the centre of Liverpool, and and he was god awful, but everyone loved him. He was like a national treasure. They become characters of the town, and I think as a performer who travels between towns and cities, you get to know the characters of each town, and they're just people who don't really seem to leave the town centre. They're not homeless people, but they just spend their entire days in the town centre, and they'll often have crazy costumes on, or they've just got their own little niche. But every city centre and every town centre seems to have their select characters, and you get to know them all as you travel around. Some of them are great.
I do think it's something that everybody needs to do once in their lifetime, is to busk. I really do. I honestly believe that. I have done it in the centre of Newcastle one time. It was great. Yeah, by the monument.
Love Newcastle, great city.
We played a couple of songs of our own. We played some Beatles numbers. We played I Want to Be Like You as well.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, what a great.
You did it as a band then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As a whole band, like kind of almost skiffle style, because I feel like sometimes if you set up everything electric and everything, it's too much for people.
Yeah,
but just
especially with a band. But you rarely see bands busking, but I love it when I see a band. There's something so because like obviously nowadays with music being all electronic and AI generated, when you see an authentic band doing live performance out on the street, there's just something so special about it.
Let's talk about the audience, right? Because
all right, let's really getting into it now.
I feel it's probably a little bit like this, right? I've been doing this for like 5 years now. I'd say 95% of the audience are absolutely beautiful, and then there's a few.
Yeah, there's always a few. Are we talking about in the street audiences or online audiences?
I mean, for me, I don't take this out, right? So for me, it's online, right? But for you, it's out and about there, right? Yeah. But let's just talk about audiences in general. I think we need to start by premising this by saying most of the people that you play for and entertain and whatever are probably brilliant, yeah? Yeah. But there are a few that are just, let's call them special or different or just wonderful human beings.
Eccentric,
but maybe mad. I don't know. Whatever it is. But you get them everywhere. I mean, I've got them online where I've done an interview with someone, and like lots of the comments would be, oh, great interview, thank you, or whatever else. And then you get one person who's like, you didn't ask the right question.
Yeah, whatever you do, I've just come to realize after so many years of doing, you've been doing this for about the same amount of time that I have online, and whatever you post, if you put yourself out online in any capacity, it could be the nicest video ever. It could be a video of a dog running through flowers.
I know.
Someone somewhere is going to have a problem with it. There's just, you can't post anything. You're always going to get hate.
That dog trampled those flowers.
Animal abuse.
It's like, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
You posted a little video recently of someone that brought up their phone and tried to play their song for you whilst you were doing what you needed to do. Gosh, that is. Have you developed ways of trying to deal with that? There was one thing that we used to do, right? I'll tell you a little secret now. We used to do festival radio. And me and one of my mates that used to do this together, we used to do this thing where we'd have it where because you might have been talking to like celebrities and whatever that come off stage, people would try and come up and they'd start to try and have a conversation with you whilst you're talking to somebody, right?
Yeah.
And or you might be interviewing someone, and someone come up and they go, "Hi, I'm Jeff," and is it all right if I stand here? And it's like, and it's so off-putting,
I
right?
agree.
Right. So we used to do this thing where the other one of us would like go off over to the side, and then they get their phone and they go, "Oh, Graham," and whoever you speak to, I've got the management on the line. They just want to have a quick word. And then we go, "Oh, so sorry, Jeff. We've got to go over there and we just got to take that call." And then they disappear off, and it's great. It's like, thanks.
That's a great technique.
Have you?
I do some similar things.
Okay. What sort of similar things have you done?
You develop it as you deal with so many of these situations, don't you? I remember coming home when I first started doing it, and I feel like I used to get hassled a lot more when I first started doing it, because I'm 26 now, but when I first started, I was 21 or 22, I think, when I started dabbling in it. And I think the younger you are, and especially as a woman or a girl at the time doing it on your own, you get it a lot worse because you come off like more of a target and you look more vulnerable to it. So I used to get it a lot, and people would come up and grab the mic. They still do, but it just used to happen more. People would grab the mic, people would come up and harass you in ways that a girl doesn't want to be harassed. You just, I can't even think off the top of my head, but you just used to get everything. But I remember coming home upset and saying to my mum, like, I don't know how to deal with this. My mum is amazing at negotiating with people, and she said, right, try this. When someone bothers you and comes right up in your face and starts saying, like, can you play this song? You play this song. You say to them, you go and sit over there, go and watch over there, and I'll play your favorite song for you. And that is the golden ticket in getting people to leave you alone. I'll play your favorite song for you, watch your favorite song, go and sit over there and listen to it. 99% of the time it works. It's not too dissimilar to what you were saying, to be honest. But you develop ways of dealing with these individual situations, don't you? It's hard, but
it is really difficult, and it's I teach people how to deal with people online and all sorts of things. And sometimes people come to me and they say, "Oh yeah, well, I get so angry," and then I start getting into an argument. But the trouble is, especially with people that are trolly, that kind of behavior, sometimes if you rile them, they get more of the same. They get more aggressive.
So you've got to kill them with kindness sometimes, haven't you?
You do. I had one yesterday, and I literally said, "I love you," and they just went.
It confuses them so much. They don't know what to do.
And they just disappear. It absolutely disappears.
If you put yourself off as even madder than them, then they don't know what to do with it.
Honestly, we don't have this so much in society. You're too young to remember, right? But we don't have this so much these days. But in the days of yore, when people didn't used to spam people online or with emails, we used to have a lot of cold calls on your telephone at home.
I think I'm just about old enough to slightly remember it. And
I said to my wife, right, because she used to get really upset about it, and I used to say, no, the trouble is you're getting cross, and that they are trained, because I used to go round call centres and deal with the people that worked in call centres. I said, they're trained to actually continue to push you if you're getting cross. So what you've got to do is you've got to feign madness, right? And we used to get a lot of calls for double glazing, right? People, lots of good double glazing people, I'm sure, exist out there, but there used to be a lot of this cold calling for double glazing. And rather than get upset, when double glazing people used to call, I'd go, double glazing, and they'd get all excited, right? And I go, I don't need any double glazing in this house, but I do have a narrow boat. And those little round windows that you get in a narrow boat, the little porthole.
Mm-hmm.
I need some double glazing in there. Now, could you come to the Norfolk Broads next Saturday? They just put the phone down.
Just didn't want to deal with it.
Because they just knew that's
Did
not.
you know you were having them on?
No.
Oh.
and
just
that's
didn't deal with it.
and they just thought, but we can't do that, and they knew that this would just go on and on and on and on, so they just stopped.
Yeah, people are bizarre sometimes, aren't they? Another thing that I get a lot is obviously, like, I make my own music and I promote that. That's the whole reason that I do the busking. I promote my own music and sing my own music a lot of the time. But you'll get people coming up going, sing Angels by Robbie Williams. You know, they're sometimes drunk or whatever. Sing this one, and they demand you to do a song. And you say, I'm doing my originals today. And they will not take no for an answer. You do their song request or they just won't leave you alone. But it's quite funny when you say, just give it a chance, let me do the original for you, and you do the original and they actually quite like it and they start dancing along to it.
I know. And the beautiful thing about doing originals is, as well, and you'll know this from doing all of like the covers and whatever as well, is that people don't know whether it's right or wrong. So unless they've heard you sing it a lot of times, and then they might know if you've said the wrong word or whatever. But that's good, because actually at that point, if they know that and whatever, and they point it out to you, it means, so you've listened, right? Yeah, okay.
It's the best thing ever when you do an original song and you see people from a distance stop and you watch them listen, and then you can see them pull their phone out and Shazam it on their phone, and you just think, another one in the bag.
That's fantastic.
I always go on about the negatives of it, and I think people from my online posts, people always think, oh, she only posts negative things, and I get so many comments saying, why do you never post your nice interactions? But the nice interactions, people aren't interested in them.
Well, do you know what I think is really good about what you're doing? Is because, and I talk to musicians about this all the time, right? I run a media marketing business. What if you do the same as everybody else? You're not going to get traction, right? And there's so many people, bless you, I understand why, who are putting out, they're doing busking in the streets or whatever, and they're putting out all of the nice stuff, right? But if everybody else is putting out all the nice stuff, you're not going to get, Well,
this is the thing. You've got to, when you crack the key to social media, in an ideal world, I get so many nice interactions. I'd post all of them. Everyone would love them, happy days. But they just don't pick up views. And realistically, when I'm thinking about it from a business point of view, I want the views so that I get paid for the views, and so that it brings me traction onto my page, and then I get people, it drives traffic into my live streams then as well if my views are massive. So if I want to funnel what I make from social media back into creating music that people enjoy, I have to post controversial interactions. And I think people don't understand that sometimes, which is fair enough, because not everyone's versed in social media and algorithms. But I have to post the negative to be able to reap the rewards to make the nice content.
And listen, it makes complete sense, because it actually ties into a psychological principle that exists, which is called negative bias. We all have negative bias, right? And any of you can test this right now. Any of you will remember the times when you go to a supermarket and you get stuck in that queue where somebody forgets everything, and someone has to go and get something for somebody, and then something falls off the counter, and then the till won't open, and then all of that, and you're stuck there for like 20 minutes. You all remember that. You don't really remember the times you go straight through.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember those times, right? Because they're good, right?
It's interesting, isn't it? I wonder why.
Why do we have a sort of...
Why do we cling on to the negative interactions more so than the nice ones?
Well, because it hurts us more.
Has more of an impact.
It has more of an impact, I think, on us. But also we learn more from those negative interactions as well. I think that's where we grow, right? You must have grown a lot in 5 years or whatever you've been doing this. You must have felt yourself grow, not only as a performer, but as a person in doing this.
Oh, yeah, massively. I mean, I used to get hate comments and I'd go home and cry about it when I was like younger. And now when someone leaves a hate comment, I just think, thanks for the boost. Thanks for the engagement. You mindset shifts as well as your personality and the way that you respond to things. I don't see online negative interactions now as negative. I see it as, well, you're just helping me to propel my business. So
I've got to ask you, in terms of this as a business, right? Have you thought at any point of actually coaching young people in doing this?
that could possibly be something that I might do in the years to come. I think I've got far too much on my plate as of now, but
Yeah.
Without tooting my own horn, I probably would make quite a good teacher. I enjoy talking to people and I enjoy telling people what to do. So, yeah,
I think when you retire from doing this, well, you might not. You might just end up being so successful at this that.
Well, I don't know if I can be a street performer forever. I'm starting to move into venue work now, which I hope will open up some new doors. But
maybe somewhere down the line, keep an open mind of it. You might end up coaching people in how to do it. It might not even be from a street performance point of view. It might just be in that confidence coaching piece around talking or whatever, which would be great.
Potentially. We'll see where their future takes me, eh?
It's money, isn't it? Right,
Yeah.
Money. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And every musician these days needs a way of making money, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
I feel like I've made it sound on here like I'm totally just like money, money, money. I do it for the love of it, and I enjoy editing. I enjoy posting the content that I post. And of course, I get loads of nice interactions and loads of nice comments as well. So I've neglected to talk about that side of things on here, but I do, and it's always it gives you a massive confidence and motivation boost when you do see nice comments too. And I do get so many of them.
But, I've had a lot of people on here that recently that do these kind of performance things in one shape or another. I mean, even yesterday we had Dan on, who was on The Voice, and he does a lot of wedding stuff and, wedding singing and that sort of thing outside of this. But here's the thing. I'd like to know whether this has started happening for you as well. Rather, if you're watching this, by the way, and you go and see Amy, rather than pester her to sing a song, right, other than one of hers, actually go and ask her to sing one of her own songs. That'd be great, right? if you're going to do that. But also, wouldn't it be nice if people stopped just coming up and going, "Oh, you sing my song," or have a listen to this, and they just like slipped you a voucher for a nearby restaurant or something? That'd be nice.
Do you know that it does happen a lot? And this is what I mean by people don't see the nice interactions. I get so many. I have, off the top of my head, I have shops coming out. Starbucks often in Blackpool specifically, but in other places too, will come out and the employees will take their tip jar off the desk and come pour it into my busking bag. Lots of places do that. I had a guy give me 2 vouchers. Not for us, but 2 vouchers for Greg's in Liverpool. And he said, look, I work with the homeless. I see you get a lot of hassle. Take these. And if you do get some hassle with someone thinking like you're on their turf or whatever, give them one of these and that should shift them on. So people are lovely. I get loads of people doing nice things. I'm trying to think of more. Shops will come out. Obviously, you have shops say, oh, turn it down. But more often you'll have shops come out and say, we're loving it. We've turned our music off in the shop. Please carry on. And I'm always so conscious about irritating businesses. So it's always nice to hear that I'm not as well.
Now, one of the things that anybody that's out on the road doing this sort of stuff, and people don't realize it, but I'm starting to see more and more videos sort of from behind the scenes, which is good going out there, is people don't realize what it's like to actually have to drag your equipment around the place, then set it up, and sometimes in the rain and whatever. I think it's good for people to actually understand that and what's involved in that, right?
Well, I'll tell you now, I've been through 3 laptops this year.
Wow. because of you can't buy something for busking and expect it to stay pristine. Even if you whack a case on it, you try so hard, it just all gets wrecked. Yeah, that's not a cheap expense either, is it?
Oh, but that's why I, like I said, I have to post the content because people don't think it's an expensive. Well, people don't think there's a lot of expenses that come with what I do, but there is. And you've got like insurance for stuff as well, and you have to, not even just for items, I have to have all sorts like public liability insurance, which I believe covers, you know, if my amp was ever to like drop on someone's head or something, then I'd be all right. I wouldn't. There's so much that comes with it, and performing, and I'm trying to like all the travel as well. And when we go around the country doing it, because I don't know whether I've said this, but you'll find a lot that you exhaust towns. So if I perform at home in Blackburn for 2 weeks straight every day, the money runs dry at one point, because you can exhaust places. So you have to move on to somewhere else and then revisit in weeks or a month. So travel is almost a necessity of the job, and it gets bloody expensive hoteling and traveling every night. So I'm grateful that I've got my live streams on top of everything else.
No, absolutely. Right. Very quickly, before I kind of get to the last question, technical, right?
Yeah.
For anybody that's like thinking about doing this themselves and whatever. So you've got your guitar,
which I don't actually take that out that much anymore, because
you don't take that.
I'm not well.
Right. Okay.
Really?
So you got laptop.
Yeah.
Back in, and then something to play it out of, like amp.
So I've got my amp, my laptop.
Yeah. You got microphone,
stands,
etc. But then what else do you have these days? What do you collect money in? Are you collecting mainly coin or whatever? Do you do a sum up or whatever? Is there?
I should be taking that card reader out with me, but I'm so lazy. I've never done it.
Remember it.
I know. I should. I really should. I'm just so busy all the time. I never get a chance to set these.
No one's got coins these days. No one.
I know. Apparently, well, I spoke to some guy who busks in London, and he was saying that when he does Liverpool now, he's lucky if he makes like a tenner a day, because the cash has run so dry. But when he goes down to London and does the subways, and it's all on card, he's disappointed if he comes back with less than £1,000.
Yeah.
And I like realistically, I don't make that kind of money on a bus, but in London, I imagine they do make £1,000 a day because of the sheer amount of people.
Well, we had Francis on here recently, who I saw busking in Waterloo, and that's how we met, and then we did this, etc. But I think I'm right in saying that not only did she have like a way of paying with that, but also she had like the QR code. I think the QR code's a good thing as well. Do a QR code, that into your bank, done. Because everybody's got their phone. You only need a card with a QR code.
I am in the process of setting that up. Actually, I've just started working with a new company called Kicker, so they're sorting that out for me.
Right. And what about merch? Do you have anything that people can buy other than?
I did at one point. I don't have it as of now. We sold out completely of our first wave of merch. So as soon as I get all my other important stuff out the way, I'll be working on wave 2 of merch. So soon.
We're just having this conversation to allow Amy to remind herself that.
I know, honestly, yeah. You're like my brain today.
So if any of you would like to sort of pre-order merch from Amy, let her know on Instagram. Just
PayPal me £500 and I'll sort it out for you.
PayPal her now, right? And then like. Yeah, you should. Well, that's what you should do. You should do like a bundle price where, like, you could literally have a lifetime of Amy, but if you pay up front, it's like
whether it'll arrive ever, I can't be sure. I'll let you know.
It's like investment. Now, last question, and thank you for coming on today, and thank you for
having me.
And folks, do go and check out Amy's original music as well, because that's really important. Okay, and if you see her, as we've said before on the program. If you do see her out and about busking, and we'll try and get her down to Exeter as well, then do stop and give her something nice.
Yeah, not a kick in the head, please.
Not a kick in the head.
Actually, no, you can do that. It'd make for some fantastic content.
Well, no, please. Or we might now. Well, it leads us on to our last thing. I was going to say we might orchestrate it, but what about those videos where like people are busking and then suddenly, Teddy Swims appears or what? I mean, really?
I honestly have no idea. I've been trying to work out myself whether there was a reel or not. I have no idea. I imagine they're probably set up beforehand, because what are the chances that a celebrity is going to be walking?
Especially the ones. Which ones really annoy you the most? Right? Is it the ones where like someone's at a piano or whatever, and then like Ed Sheeran or somebody appears and they go, oh, watch what happens next. Ed Sheeran appears, and then like 2 people walk in from an orchestra or whatever and get out there
They're
and they
100%
start,
set up.
oh my word.
They're
It's like,
cool, but they're definitely set up. Definitely.
it's
A lot of before. Sorry, I know I'm waffling on, but I just address one thing. People always say to me, your videos are so fake, they're all staged. I can honestly say, like, none of them are staged. They're all unfortunately real.
do you know what? That would be perfect on a t-shirt.
What, not staged?
No, yeah, not stay. It should say on what it should say on. Let's get this right. It should say on the front, not stage, and then on the back it should say, unfortunately, 100% real. It's brilliant.
What is that? I might steal that off you. Oh, I do.
Yeah, I'd love a t-shirt with that on. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, it kind of feels like the soundtrack to my life. That, you know, if I ever produced an album, maybe that would be the title. Unfortunately,
I want a cut of the proceeds.
yeah, of course you can. Of course, well, you can come and perform on it.
Sure, deal.
There you go, Amy. It's been brilliant talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do that.
Thank you for having me. It's been nice to have a natter about it.
Well, no, that's what we're here for, folks. This is the wonderful Amy Alex. Please do go and support Amy now. If you've watching this and you've like never come across Amy before on social media or whatever, go and give her a follow. We will try and get her, as I say, down to Exeter. That'd be great. It'd be interesting to see where we can get you to play in Exeter. That would be interesting. If not, we'll get you to Bristol, because you played Bristol before.
I have, yeah, a couple of times. It's been a few years since I've been there, but I love it there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh well, we could certainly sort out Bristol, if not as well, because my son's at university there at the moment.
Oh, fabulous. Well, I'm going down to London in about a week or two, so I'll see if I can make it over that direction while I'm there.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, it would. Folks, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this conversation with Amy today. This has been another My Music. If you've enjoyed this, do share it with people. You can catch up on why this all started at mymusicpodcast.com, where you can also join the community if you so wish. We will be back sometime soon with more of the same. But until then, from Amy and myself, bye for now.